Good afternoon and welcome to lovely Feasterville, Pennsylvania. You are watching WFTBA.TV. This is the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championships. And this is going to be Game 10 in the Open Division. We have a matchup between the Tampa Bay Junior Derby All-Stars and the Philly Roller Derby Juniors.
Now, the fun thing about this is what you're looking at is two teams that played each other about a month and a half ago, and I think their point differential was only about 35 points. So this is a rematch that both teams are looking forward to. Tampa lost on their home. I think they want to bring it back here and try to take it to Philly today.
Absolutely. Return the favor, as it were.
A little quid pro quo. You take a little from my house, I'm going to take a little from your house.
Tampa comes in ranked the 6th seed and in the 7th ranking, ranked 7th and seeded 6th. Philly comes in seeded 7th and ranked 8th. So they're right next to each other in the seedings and rankings. Darryl B. Payne, why don't you take us through who our officiating crew is going to be?
Happy to do so. Our NSO crew today is Andy Oakley, Hef, David Reed, Barney Trouble coming all the way over from Copenhagen, which is awesome. Mr. Danger, Allison Starkey, Eve L., and Lobocop. Our Zebra crew today is Ref in Peace, STO Nasty, Killa Key, Judge Double Wapner, Tricky Ricky, Lucinda Knickers, and Karma.
All right. I'm Bobby Narco. Our producer this afternoon is going to be Tom Foolery. I'm going to take you through the Tampa Junior Derby All-Stars. Number 10 is Rain DePayne. Were you going to do Tampa? Did I just do this wrong?
No, you're doing it right.
All right. Number 10 is Rain DePayne. Number 110 is Little Miss Perfect. Number 112 is Tinkerbomb. Number 1217 is Frico Suave. Number 1676, Lemonade. Number 3, Abby Normal. Number 4, Anya Last Nerve. Number 41, Sonic Boom. Number 789, Shark Bites. Number 88, Nightmare. Number 888, Peaches and Screams. Number 9, Hot Wheels. Number 999, Honey Badger. And the captain, number 7, Haley Dubinsky. Coaches for Tampa are Rojo Grande, Coach Lucky, and Tootsie Pop. Tampa will be skating in black.
And over wearing the light blue jerseys today, we have Philly, our hosts, and wearing number 10 is Rainbow Crash. Number 100 is Stitch Glitch. Number 101, TIE Fighter. 1014 is Griffin Score. Number 13, Unstoppable. 14 is Rough Red. Number 15 is Motley Drew. Number 17 is Takedown Diva. Number 171 is Tomahawk. Number 180 is Magzilla. 181 is Maddie Longlegs. Number 20, Yaya the Destroyer. Number 394, Hermione Mamer. Number 409, the Veg-O-Matic. 817, Boomerang. And 888 is Harley Spin. Boomerang 817 is the team captain, by the way. And they are coached by Devoid of Mercy, Teflon Donna, and Built to Spill.
There we go, and look at that. Just right in time to get us underway.
You'd think we've done this before.
So looking out there, we can see the jammer line from this track, and wearing the jammer for the blue team, number 13 is Unstoppable. And number 1217, Frico Suave. Here we go.
Fun tidbit of trivia. I don't want to brag, but Frico Suave was a junior skater with my Darlings of Destruction when he first started skating before his family moved to Tampa.
Very nice.
Good kid, good family. As a matter of fact, he's got 2 siblings playing with him in this game today.
Oh, all right. TIE Fighter also has some siblings participating in the tournament. He's a frequent referee for the juniors at Gotham, and was an alt-ref earlier today over on the female division track.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he did some announcing with us in this crew at championships last year.
How about that? We got our first penalty of the game. We got a skater in the penalty box for the blue team. Now 2 skaters in the penalty box for the blue team. Unstoppable has lead jammer. Oh, we got a penalty coming. That's a track cut. So this will be a power jam for Unstoppable.
Yeah, Frico had some problems with his track cuts earlier today in their game this morning. Tampa prevailed to make it into this matchup, but Frico had 4 penalties as a jammer earlier today.
That's a 5-point pass for Unstoppable.
That was a very nice spin move right there by Unstoppable. Good pack recognition. Unstoppable sees that the opposing jammer standing, wants to start with a power start for the next jam, calls off the jam. Very wise decision there.
10 points, double digits already, first jam of the game. So first lead change in jam number 1, as is often the case.
You know, sometimes I've actually seen games go with 3 jams without a score. It reminds me of the old days, the Gotham Philly era, where they would stall each other out, and before the knee starts became a thing to speed that pack action
Sure,
up. 2
and
whistles.
The 2 whistle starts, all that good stuff. Jamming right now for Philly, we have Rainbow Crash. Frico Suave starting the jam in the penalty box for Tampa. And there he comes.
And Frico's free to do some damage now. Hopefully he can keep his skates on the track instead of back in the penalty box.
3 wall at the top of the pack. Now a 2 wall, now a 1 wall. Boy, these walls shift like a haunted house. Frico Suave picks up lead jam. Teams even on lead jams, 1 apiece.
You know, mentally, I think I jinxed Tomahawk there because he was running a really tight tripod, and then as he lost one blocker after another, he found himself in that unenviable position of being an inverted blocker with someone coming hard right at him. I was literally about to say, he's doing a fantastic job holding that tripod together, and it disassembled just as quickly as it had assembled.
Tampa on the board with 3 points, makes the score 10-3 in favor of Philly. Number 112 on the pink team is Tinker Bomb. Number 13 is Unstoppable again. Unstoppable making his 2nd appearance on the jammer line. Penalty box is empty. Philly occupying that pivot line. Here they come in retrograde back down to the jammer line. Unstoppable out in front, Tinker Bomb in the back, but both facing similar situations, walls of defenders. Lead jam goes to Unstoppable.
Now, both of these programs have very similar styles. They both run really tight tripods. They try to spring an extra blocker, and right there you can see the effectiveness of having that extra blocker out there running interference for the jammer.
Also helps when you have Unstoppable making incredible apex leaps like that.
Yeah, I'd look like a great offensive blocker if I had Unstoppable skating behind me.
So that's all 5 points.
Not sure what that exiting of the track was.
We got a whistle came, and then there was a big long pause. Now there's all of a sudden 2 Tampa skaters heading to the penalty box. That's all 5 points for Unstoppable. So that's 15-point jam, the highest jam of the game. Passing his own mark of 10 from jam number 1. We got an illegal contact penalty. That's a Philly skater reporting to the penalty box on the illegal contact.
Wow, we actually don't have enough room in the penalty box for that last blocker who's going to have to report back in when there's a available spot back in the queue.
But there was no room at the end. Unstoppable getting 25 points. There's still 40 seconds left in this jam.
Living up to the name, Unstoppable having a very good opportunity here as it's gone power jam and pack advantage now to even strength on the blockers, but the damage is being done.
Yeah, there's more referees than skaters on the track right now. Skaters starting to filter out of that penalty box. Unstoppable at 30 points, accounting for 100% of his team's score and 75% of his team's score on that jam, plus 2 more points. 32-point jam. 33? Well, of course, yes, there's 33. 1 in the box. 2 on the track and 1 in the box makes 33. Now Philly leading 43-3.
Yeah, this early in the game, one of the things that Tampa's going to have to do is they're going to have to bear down. They're going to have to settle, get comfortable, and start chipping away. They can't try to do it all at once because when you put that kind of pressure on your jammers, especially the young jammer core like Tampa has right now, it's only going to exacerbate their situation. They're going to press. They're going to pick up penalties. Yeah.
We have Anya Last Nerve jamming for Tampa and Tomahawk jamming for Philly. Anya picks up lead jam, so teams continuing to alternate lead jams here in jam number 4. 1 for each track cut on Tomahawk. So Anya Last Nerve has a power jam and is going to have an opportunity to close the gap and has already scored a grand slam.
Yep, and you know, if the doctor were making orders, he'd order up a couple of grand slams so that Tampa can feel a little bit more comfortable and start getting their confidence back in this game.
Highest jam of the game for Tampa is the 10 points and counting. Look at that.
Nice little apex hop right there. And you got to give some credit to the blockers out there. The blocker that Tampa had on the inside,
Maddie Longlegs.
Sure, Maddie Longlegs did a fantastic job keeping that seam open just enough so that Anya barely had to make an apex jump at all.
Yep. 5-point pass, another 5-point pass, up to 20. So Unstoppable puts up 33. Tanya's working on 20, still has a minute left to jam. Tomahawk back in play.
So far, 20 points already on the board for Anya Last Nerve. Anya's going to have to be patient. Once again, you don't have to get all those points back at once. The best thing is point protection at this stage of the game because you're already behind, but there's so much time left that it's almost negligible in the long run.
Yeah. Jam is called off. 23-point jam for Anya. Brings Tampa up to 26. Philly at 43, a 17-point lead for the Philly Juniors. 23 minutes and change left to play in the game. You're watching WFTA.TV and the Junior Roller Derby Association 2018 Championships. Out there on the line, number 789 on the black team is Shark Bites. And number 817 on the blue team is Boomerang. So I was about to say captain versus captain, but I put my C in the wrong place. So Boomerang is the captain of Philly, but Shark Bite's not the captain of Tampa.
No, but a tidbit of trivia. It is Shark Bite's birthday.
Oh, there you go. We got a misconduct called. So it's a power jam misconduct called on Boomerang. Shark Bites has lead and has some blockers out there to facilitate a trip through the pack. Nice job by Philly at the top of the pack, forcing Boomerang to the outside. She's going to have to go all the way back to almost turn number 1 to re-engage. Forearm penalty coming in on the Philly pivot. Almost made it around that outside line. That rope line is almost like a tightrope sometimes.
Yeah, for those of you that didn't catch that previous game, there was a lot of acrobatic activity going on. Toe stop running along and pivots and pirouettes all over the inside track line. You know, DCM, the defending champion, showed a lot of moxie and a lot of skill out there.
We got a track cut coming in on number 817, so that's the jammer, isn't it? Yeah, 817 is, no, 817 not the jammer. 817 is the jammer. So yep. This will be a 2-minute jam. Oh, and then we got another penalty. Penalties coming fast and furious. So first 2-minute jam of the game. Both jammers sent to the penalty box. One of them was a track cut. They may both have been track cuts. Don't want to speculate too much.
Yeah, as much as I enjoy having this monitor in front of me, that's the reason why I didn't see what that second penalty was.
Yep. All 5 points for Shark Bites. Direction of play on the Tampa pivot. 4 points picked up by Philly. So it's 47-36, only 11 points separating these teams.
Yeah, Tampa's done a nice job taking advantage of those back-to-back power jam opportunities. They may not have been very long, in particular in this last one, because it was just a jammer swap out, but they did get more points on the jam, so that's how you cut into a lead. You'll take a 12-4 on a jam where there's no lead jam all day long when you're the team that was down 25 points originally and then 17 points, and now look at them.
Yep. Jammers now are Frico Suave and Rough Red. Rough Red's first appearance on the jammer line. Is that right, Tom Foolery? It is indeed. Tom Foolery, our most excellent producer for this matchup. Lead jam goes to Philly. We're in jam number 6. Are we still swapping leads? We're at least even on leads. That's all 5 points. Big 3 wall, now 4 wall at the top of the pack containing the Tampa jammer.
It's a really nice job right there by the Tampa defense to make sure that that wasn't going to be an easy pass to reset that jammer.
Yeah, now each team dedicating one blocker to making a bridge, keeping everybody in play. We got a jammer penalty. It is a forearm on the Tampa jammer, so a power jam for Rough Red. Nice hit by the Tampa blocker, forcing the jammer down.
That was Little Miss Perfect on that first bump out.
Little Miss Perfect, one of the skaters playing in both divisions. We've got a direction of play penalty on the Philadelphia pivot.
Well, that's correct. Little Miss Perfect played a game with the girls team from Crooked River earlier today. And as a matter of fact, I spoke to her mother just about 15 minutes before this game began. She literally had to wait like 8 more minutes to put her skates on.
Wow, nice move on turn number 4. Picking up all 5 points is a Rough Red. Frico Suave out of the box and has completed the initial pass. I think they're going to get some points. No.
That is a full fist. There is no fingers dangling on that one, so that is a 0 pass.
4 more for Philly. So that brought them up to 15 showing on the scoreboard.
That's correct.
62-38 in favor of Philadelphia. Nice crowd here. If you're looking on the screen, you're going to see the bleachers are rather empty. That's because everybody's sitting on the track, so don't be fooled by the size of the crowd. There is a substantial crowd watching this game from turn number 1.
Yeah, all the way through turn 1 and 2, there's a lot of bodies where they are allowed to be able to set up and put their camp chairs on the floor over there.
So we got Tinker Bomb jamming against Unstoppable. Wow, look at those walls.
They are tight. They're tough. Those are tough walls going on out there right now.
Some help from Philly springs the jammer, but a track cut. So a power jam for Tinker Bomb.
Tampa needed this. Let's see if they can capitalize on this opportunity now.
Tinker Bomb just took the star off, so we're not going to have a lead jammer. This jam will go the full 2. And we are in retrograde all the way back to turn number 4.
Yeah, Philly's doing a great job right now killing off this penalty because Unstoppable's already standing.
We got a failure to reform on Philly blocker. Start pass, new jammer for Tampa is number 999, Honey Badger. Honey Badger don't care, just jump that apex, pick up 4 points.
Apparently Honey Badger does care because Honey Badger learned how to apex jump. I haven't seen that out of Honey Badger yet this weekend.
Everybody's learning new tricks at the JRDA Championships.
Well, it's very inspirational to see this much high-level competition, so I think you
Out
get
of people
inspired.
so young. I keep forgetting that I'm not watching grown-ups. 5-point pass for Unstoppable. Excuse me, for Tinker Bomb. Oh, for Honey Badger. Honey Badger. Whew.
That's why we have Tom over here. Tom keeps us in line.
Thank you, Tom.
He's shaking his head. Obviously not keeping you in line that well.
4 more points for Tampa, a total of 13. Oh, look at this. Here comes Tampa. Only 11 points separating these two teams on the back of that 13-0 jam. Heading into jam number 8. Number 10 for the blue team is Rainbow Crash, and number 7 on the black team is the captain, Haley Dubinsky.
Haley Dubinsky is an aging out senior member of this Tampa team. This is her final junior competition. As a matter of fact, she's already started skating with the Tampa Tantrums adult team earlier this spring.
Tinker Bomb, the other Tampa skater that is aging out. Lead jam goes to Rainbow Crash. Oh, but the lead jammer is no longer the jammer in the lead. Let's see what happens. Well, let's play it. I love to see that. Forced into the infield is Rainbow Crash. Way out of play.
Nice job there by Dubinsky, just gutting it out, knowing that she was getting close to that 20-foot mark and they were going to have to peel off and let her through.
So 4-4, each team picks up 4 points. Great job by the jammer to call off the jam. Saw that the other jammer was about to get 4 points. So 14 minutes, we're a quarter of the way through the game. This game has flown by. There has been no stoppage of play. Number 13 on the purple team is Unstoppable. And number 4 on the black team is Anya Last Nerve. We match at jam number 1? No. It is not. Lead jam has gone to Philadelphia. Unstoppable is the lead. Rest of the pack all the way down at the jammer line. Got a track cut, and it's on Anya Last Nerve, so this will be a power jam for Unstoppable and the Philly Juniors.
Yeah, that was fantastic footwork by the Philly blockers there. They saw Anya, she was kind of straddling there and going to the outside, and immediately 2 of them peeled back. She only got in behind the skater that knocked her out, didn't recognize the other 2 had pulled her back.
Well-drawn cut. All 5 points for Unstoppable and going back for seconds. Nice spin move. Drops it in. He still gets 5 points. A double grand slam. Philly has 5 leads to Tampa's 3. Both teams have 4 power jams. The statistics coming courtesy of Tom Foolery. Got a low block is the call on the Tampa skater that's leaving. A 4-point pass for Unstoppable. Oh, a track cut. Anya last nerve twice to the penalty box. So this is a double power jam for Unstoppable and a quadruple grand slam. Make that a quintuple grand slam. Unstoppable put up, 32, 33 before?
It was 33, I believe.
And now it is 30.
That's putting up a lot of damage right there. And when you go from a game that 2 jams ago was obtainable within 1 jam, now Tampa's going to have to start climbing that mountain again and chipping away.
I misspoke. Scoreboard showing that that's only 25. So I gave Unstoppable credit for 1 more 5-point pass. Either I made a mistake or the scorekeeper did. Philly sitting at 91, Tampa sitting at 55. Who's jamming?
That's Tomahawk right there.
Tomahawk going up against Anya last nerve. Tomahawk picking up lead jammer.
You know, I don't think we've actually had a jam in this game that hasn't had one of the Team USA East skaters on it. There's so many between these 2 teams that there seems to be at least one out there every time. Tomahawk, obviously, right now is one of the representatives of Team USA East for Philly.
Track cut on Tomahawk, so the lead is lost. The jam will go the full 2 minutes, and it is a power jam for Anya last nerve. And just when Tampa starts to fall behind, they get the break like this that they need. Second 2-minute jam of the game.
And really, for Tampa, it couldn't have come at a much better time. They need to take advantage of one of these power jams to get themselves back within striking distance.
Forearm penalty. Who's it on? It is on one of the Philadelphia blockers.
I believe that was Magzilla that picked up that forearm penalty in the pack there. Couldn't get a real good look because she's got long hair covering half her numbers up right now.
Tomahawk re-entering play. A 5-point pass registered by Anya. Actually, 2 5-point passes by Anya.
And that'll be a 4-point pass for Tomahawk, who's in scoring position still. So we're going to see a lot of points probably end up on the board.
40 seconds left, and no one can stop the action. Jammers swapping 4s. All blue on the inside, all black on the outside. Now all blue in the back and all black at the top. Tomahawk forced out, but doesn't have to go very far to re-engage. Now forced in, doesn't have to go very far to re-engage.
Yeah, that's something that it's a team preference with a defense. Some teams don't want to do a run back. They just want to pull that group back together and tighten it up and not give you anywhere to go. So they're not looking for a run back. They're just looking to be a solid wall.
Tomahawk says, I'm not cutting, I'm not cutting. And jam ends. So a total of 15 for Tampa, 11 for Philly. So a little bit of a comeback. 4 more points net picked up by Tampa on that last set of whistles.
Yeah, and that brings us to 102-70, and it is a 32-point Philly lead. And we've got a timeout Tampa. Probably a good time for Rojo Grande to pull one of these. She wants to talk to her team about, listen, we're literally only a power jam out of this right now. We've got to take our time and be patient. And from a coach's perspective, that's exactly what I'd be doing with my team right now. Even though it seems like you've got momentum going because you've won the point spread the last few jams, you still know that Philly's got a lot of potential, a lot of power, and you want your team to rest. Because I don't know if you noticed, Anya last nerve was starting to look a little tired towards the end of that last jam. So her team needs this break both mentally and physically so that they're prepared to go back out and fight for those points again.
Unstoppable has accounted for 2/3 of Philly's points. Philly now over the century mark at 102, and Unstoppable has 68 of those points. It's also a good time to talk to you about what's coming up on WFTDA TV in August. We are going to be having the 2018 Continental Cups, and they're going to be streamed live on WFTDA.tv, starting with the North America East Continental Cup out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. That's going to be August 17th through 19th, hosted by the Kalamazoo Derby Darlings. Then the very next weekend, we head to Omaha, Nebraska for the North America West Continental Cup. That is hosted by the Omaha Roller Girls. And our final Continental Cup going to take place in Europe, the European Continental Cup in Birmingham, England, hosted by the Birmingham Blitz Dames the last weekend of October. Watch passes go on sale on July 31st, so stay tuned for some great action on WFTDA.tv.
And now we've got Shark Bites jamming for Tampa going against Unstoppable for Philly. And once again, just like you said, Unstoppable has accounted for 2/3 of the points for Philly Roller right now. And the reason for that is jamming 2 out of every 3 jams.
There you go.
And he's got lead jam again.
I don't think that's the only reason.
Well, it's because he's unstoppable. Let's face it.
Oh, and a power jam. That's part of the reason also is he keeps benefiting from power jams. This is a track cut being called on Shark Bites. 4 leads in a row for Philly. Oh, nice. That space got vacated and it almost drew Unstoppable in like a vacuum.
It was. You read my mind on that one. That was the absolute vacuum. That space got created. He was drawn to it magically.
Science. The magic of science. Jam is called off. Another 3 points, so a total of 13. Brings Philly up to 115. Tampa sitting on 70. Oh, are both of these divisible by 35? They are. We've got a 3-2 margin. Oh, no, they're not.
No.
So close.
Well, you were reaching on that one.
10 points over a 3-2 margin. I was. I do. Guilty as charged.
But hey, it's still easy peasy math. It is a 45-point differential right now in favor of Philly.
Only jammer on the track right now is wearing number 14 on a blue uniform, and that is Rough Red. And now 7-8-9 Shark Bite emerging from the penalty box. Both jammers eligible for lead. Lead goes to Rough Red. That's 5 in a row for Philly now. But just a couple strides behind is Shark Bites. Philly losing a blocker to the penalty box. Ooh, Apex leap foiled by number, was that 41 on the black team? Sonic Boom.
Yep.
We got a misconduct called. Oh, and it's on the Philly jammer for blocking a down skater. So we are going to have, or perhaps jumping an Apex and making contact midair. So another 2-minute jam. Tom, is this our third 2-minute jam of the half? Stubbs says I'm not tracking that.
Nice job by the young skater there, Shark Bite. Having to work really, really hard, but once again, getting through and getting all 5 of those points. This is actually, I believe, the youngest skater, maybe the second youngest skater on the squad. Now, I have to double check. Do we have Abby Normal on the roster today for Tampa? Because if Abby Normal's there, okay, then I misspoke. Abby Normal's a year younger.
There you go. 5 points picked up by Rough Red. By Shark Bites.
Yeah, Shark Bites is, as a young skater, I don't care how conditioned you are, when you're going up against a lot of those bigger bodies, it does take a wear on your soul. It's the soul suck, if you will. But showing a lot of personality and character. Shark Bites definitely living it up on his birthday here and doing a lot of damage out there.
Also got a birthday for one of our photographers, Manish Gosalia. Happy birthday, Manish. 4 points picked up by Rough Red.
I'll tell you, before I'd ever seen any of Manish's work in roller derby, I'd seen him as a sideline photographer for, I believe, New York Jets games.
New York Jets. So 2 more points picked up by Philly, 17 points by Tampa. So it's 121 to 87. Total of 6 by Philly, total of 17 by Tampa.
Now, despite the back and forth with some power jams here, Tampa has been consistent and taking little bites out of that lead, and that's what they have to do. Doesn't matter what the score is at halftime, is what I always tell my team. What matters is what it says at the very end of the game. So you keep nipping away at that lead. That's what you've got to do. You've got to keep taking bites out.
So here is the rematch of jam number 1, Frico Suave and Unstoppable. Unstoppable picking up lead jam again.
Frico did a nice job getting himself out free. Not
about
that
a quarter
far
track behind, yeah. Couple furlongs. In the fraction of the track sense, not in the feet sense.
Yes.
Nice hip check. Great job by Frico battling through that wall in the front. Jam is called 4 points to the Philadelphia team. No points for it.
No, it's a 4-4.
4-4. 125 to
Yeah,
91.
it's hard for us to see through that netting, but there were some fingers held up, and of course, initially they were on a perpendicular to our eye line. I'm like going, his hands up, but how come I don't see any fingers? And as soon as he turned to make sure the scorekeeper could see it, I could see all 4 fingers.
Just under 5 minutes left in the game.
Yeah,
Philly racing to get a jammer out there. Just due. They're going to put number 10 on the line. That is Rainbow Crash. And Haley Dubinsky jamming for Tampa. Is this Dubinsky's first jam?
This is Dubinsky's second jam. This might be Rainbow's first jam.
Rainbow's been on the line before.
Second time then?
Third. Haley picks up lead jam for Tampa.
Well, I was half right there. I knew it was Haley's second jam. Oh, and another penalty has been assessed to Tomahawk over here. Did not catch the call. I was tracking the jammers coming in along the back of the pack. I did not see what Tomahawk was sent to the box for.
Very, very foully game.
Yes.
They're going to have to watch that in the second half.
Yeah, you've got a lot of veteran players, in particular jammers, that have gone to the box quite a few times, in particular for Tampa. I think that's why we're going to see a little bit more of the skating of Shark Bites and Haley Zubinski as jammers, because their primary jammers, Anya Last Nerve and Frico Suave, have had multiple trips to that box. And they've executed a star pass over there on the Philly side.
Just before the whistle was blown, the cover was done, and that's number 817. Unstoppable has 85 out of the 125 points of Philadelphia.
We've now got Anya Last Nerve going to be jamming against Unstoppable. Last second swap out. Rojo Grande wanted a little bit of a different presentation with her defense, knowing who the jammer was, so they wanted a bigger body out there.
Starting up on the pivot line, a little unusual. Tampa knocking on the door of that century mark. One small slam away. Wow, great block by number 41, Sonic Boom, but
that is
Unstoppable weathered the storm.
Weathered the storm. Unstoppable is going to need to try to get lead to see if you can control the tempo on this one, because Anya got through, but it was a no pass, no penalty. So in that instance, the lead is still open right now.
Yeah.
Yep, I think we got a low block
another
on
2-minute jam, low block on Anya Last Nerve. And no lead jam for Unstoppable, so yet another 2-minute jam. Our third or fourth of the half.
I could be mistaken, but I think that's Anya's third penalty as a jammer.
Tom's not exactly disagreeing, not exactly agreeing. Is agree. Oh, 2 points. This is farm. Anya has 2 penalties as jammer. 5-point pass for Unstoppable. Penalty box is empty now. Both teams back to full strength. Looks like the skater that's bridging number 888, Peaches and Screams, has a stitch in her side.
Yeah, ever since I turned old when I hit 40, I started realizing that sometimes if you move just a little too quick in one direction, you'll get one of those little rib stitches, and they are no fun.
4 points picked up by Anya, puts Tampa at the century mark. Oh, what a move on the outside. That's all 5 points.
That was a very nice pirouette to get around that sideline.
Half ballerina, half high wire walker. Each team picking up 3 points on that last set of whistles brings Tampa for 12 on that jam, Philly to 8 on that jam. 25-point lead, 133 to 108.
Once again, if I were a coach, I'd be looking at this trend where if there's those swap outs on those power jams, Tampa's won those. Tampa's won those battles when both jammers have gone to the box. Tampa's done a better job of maintaining control over the pack and chipping away and chipping away, and I like to see that. They're keeping this game within a reasonable distance so they can make a move.
We got Rough Red on the line against Shark Bites. This will probably be the last jam. unless something unusual happens. It is within the ref's discretion to order an additional jam in certain circumstances. Rough Red picks up lead jam for Philly.
Yeah, it's pretty rare to get that additional jam unless you have that whole concept of an unnatural causation of ending of a jam.
Or injury.
Injury, right.
Yeah. So we are in added time. Jam is called. It's hard to see that a 4. That is a 4.
That is a
Tom.
4. Thank you, Tom. Tom's all over that one.
137 to 108 at halftime.
Name of the game's been penalties. It's not something that's cliche. It's fact. The team with the most penalties, and we're going to track this down at halftime, is probably the team that's losing. So you've got to stay out of the box, especially those jammer penalties. Jammer penalties very early on in this game were very costly toward Tampa, but they've done a nice job of not having as many, and they've capitalized on a few that they've had.
I think also another key to the game, maybe not quite as much as the penalties, is those big jams, those jams that are 20 points, 30 points. Both teams putting up double-digit points. This is a very high-scoring game already at halftime. It's 137-108.
Yep, I expect things to actually widen up, and we're going to see fourth gear in the second half, and I think it's going to be a very exciting finish.
You are watching the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championships on WFTA.tv. Come on back in about 13 minutes for a little statistical analysis and the second half of Tampa versus Philadelphia.
We'll see. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are about to start the second half of a very entertaining game. For those of you just joining us right now, we have a 108 right now for Tampa, who's slightly behind 137 for Philly. And this game has been a tale of statistics. You want to take that?
Oh, sure. Our most excellent producer for this game has been Tom Foolery, and he's prepared some stats for us. In terms of lead jams, Philadelphia has had lead 11 times. Jacksonville has had lead 4 times. In terms of jammer penalties, Philadelphia has only had 4 jammer penalties. Jacksonville's had 6 jammer penalties. Leading scorers for Philadelphia have been Unstoppable with 93 points and Rough Red with 25 points. Anya Last Nerve has 50 points for Tampa, and Shark Bite has 7 points. 71? 17? 17 points for Tampa. So we're pointing out that Philly is looking for their second win ever at the JRDA Championship Tournament. Their first win ever came yesterday.
Yeah, that's got to be exciting for them. Last year they went to championships when they were out in Loveland, Colorado, and they went unvictorious. They had some intense games, close games, but they couldn't quite get over the hump. So as a newer team at champs last year, I think they've learned some lessons, and they're looking for number 2 today.
Talking about fouls before we went into halftime, Rain DePayne is leading all foulers with 5 for Tampa. Tomahawk is next with 4 for Philly. Anya Last Nerve has 3. Boomerang has 3. Everybody else has 2 or fewer. So only the one person. Oh, that's 27 points for Shark Bite. So Anya Last Nerve had 50 points for Tampa. Shark Bite had 27 points for Tampa. So the winner of this matchup will go on to skate at 1 p.m. For 5th place in the Open Division, and the loser will be skating at 11 a.m. for 7th or 8th place.
And we've got Haley Zabinski lining up with a star for Tampa, going to be going against Unstoppable. This is a little bit of a theme that we talked about right before the half. We're seeing a little bit of a different jammer rotation in this game for Tampa than we have in the earlier games, and I think that has a lot to do with those jammer penalties we saw earlier.
We are just about to get underway. Pack rolling up against that jammer line.
Thou shalt not pass.
That's very intimidating. Here we go. Unstoppable forced to the infield. Re-engaging from the back. Well, losing a skater to the penalty box. That is Tomahawk. Lead jam picked up by Dubinsky.
And Unstoppable having a hard time getting that initial pass done. Still has not gotten out of the pack yet.
Tampa losing a skater to the penalty box as well. That's number 110. Little Miss Perfect. 5-point pass for Dubinsky. So lots of aces and threes on the board right now. The jam is called. No more points on that second set of passes. So 5 points picked up by Tampa, 113 to 137. We only had 17 jams in the first half. We had so many 2-minute jams. Really no stoppage of play other than one team timeout by Tampa. So this game is moving right along.
And actually, I think that was a well-selected timeout. That opportunity was part of that slow uptick that you saw in Tampa in the last 7 jams.
Yeah, cooling off Unstoppable's Jets a little bit as well. You can see on your screen, well, you can't anymore. You were seeing that the stands have become more crowded, and all the way across from turn 1 to turn 2, the fans are just packing this stadium.
Yeah, we've got a nice crowd here. The energy level of this crowd was super, super high at the beginning of this game. But as this game has proven, it's nobody's easy game to win. Everybody's kind of biting some nails and clinging on the edge of their seat right now. Also sharing the audience with a great matchup behind us where we've got Foco against Gotham. So lots of action going on here. Frico Suave has picked up lead jam and has scored 5 points. Rainbow Crash is the Philly jammer. Rainbow Crash is really up against a very, very tough tripod right now. That tripod in the back is doing an exceptional job. And they've got what I call the free skater, who's just kind of standing off to the side to make sure that there's no escape route outside of that tripod.
Yeah, nice quarterbacking by Vegematic with a pivot cap on for Philly. Moving those blockers around, skating backwards, keeping our eye on the pack. Another 5-point pass for Frico Suave. Only 14 points separate the teams. Ooh. Yeah, low block is the call on the Tampa pivot. No surprise there. When you trip the other jammer, you're going to get that low block call.
Yeah, Frico with a nice little spin move right on the inside line, directly in line with the 12 o'clock on the apex, picking up another 5 points. Very important jam right now to reestablish themselves and get some momentum going.
Only 9 points separating these two teams. Plus the points that are already on the board right now. There's at least 2. Tampa losing a blocker on the high block. Another 5-point pass, 4-point pass? 5-point pass.
All 5. The thumb is sky high.
4-point game. Tampa has 133 on the back of that 20-point jam. Philadelphia shut out on that last set of whistles. Still sitting on 137. 26.5 minutes left to play in the game.
Yeah, you've got a light coming out in the second half and busting loose a 20-0 jam when you were behind. I mean, that's
on the back of a
5-0.
They're 25-0 since halftime. Number 4 on the black team is Anya Last Nerve. Unstoppable starting from the penalty box. No Unstoppables out there. Just missed him.
Yep, he was doing a little drawback dance with Haley Zabinski here, who Zabinski ended up getting bumped out a little bit there, but she's reestablished herself back as part of that tripod that's hanging on Unstoppable right now.
Nice block by the Philadelphia pivot, forcing the Tampa jammer to the outside. Lead jam picked up by Unstoppable.
Took him 26 seconds to get there, but he earned that lead jam.
Penalty box now empty again.
And again, number 7 right there, protecting that inside line, denying Unstoppable a pass.
Four points, tumbling around the corner. Oh, a power jam. It is a track cut on Anya Last Nerve.
You know, it still gets me. Cut, track cut. You get me to call it a track cut for 11 years, and then you try to turn around and tell me it's a cut track.
You're right. The head block, blocking with the head's now a head block. But everything that was legal before is still legal, and everything that was illegal before is still illegal. 5 points picked up by Unstoppable. Adding to his 4 makes 9. And adding another 5 makes 14. So 14 points, 151 for Philly, 133. A pair of aces and a 5 for Philly, a pair of trays and an ace for Tampa. Going to be a power start for Philly. Anya Last Nerve starting in the penalty box for Tampa. And taking advantage, and that's number 14, Rough Red.
And just like that, Anya's out there wedging herself right into the middle of that tripod. Barely missed an opportunity there to get through, but once again, you know, you've got Tomahawk who sealed it back up, and it took a little bit longer, but Anya did get lead jam.
Yeah, out of the box and into the lead is Anya Last Nerve. Sean Hale pointed out earlier that these skaters aren't just jumping apexes, they're jumping straightaways, they're jumping opposing blockers, they're jumping everybody. Got a multiplayer block, sending one of the Philadelphia blockers to the penalty box. That is number 181,
That's
Maddie Longlegs. 5-point pass for Anya. Oh, we got an illegal procedure penalty, and the jammer cover is on the outside. Jammer heading to the penalty box. That's Rough Red. We'll sit him into the penalty box on the illegal procedure. Probably a botched star pass. I wasn't looking. Were you, Tom?
Tampa's looking to take advantage of this power opportunity here to try to get back and possibly even take the lead in this jam.
Jam is called. Will be a power start for Tampa. 14 points picked up by Tampa. Makes the score 147-151, back to a 4-point game. Right where we were at the end of Jam 2. 12-17 on the black team is Frico Suave.
Yeah, that was a nice tag in, tag out as Anya leaves and lets her brother Frico Suave come in to take over the burden. They can skate clean in this one. They can take the lead. Yeah, I was actually talking after the Tampa game earlier that they had to win to get to this opportunity, and I was talking to a couple of their skaters, and they said, yeah, we're excited to get that rematch with them, but they hit so hard.
Got a multiplayer coming in from the outside. Frico has picked up lead jam. Rough Red has escaped from the penalty box. Nobody's leaving on that multiplayer. Maybe waved off. 5-point pass for Frico Suave. Star stash for Rough Red to complete the initial.
And we have a lead change now. Tampa has taken the lead.
How about them apples? 100. Oh, rescinded.
What?
Tie game.
Tied.
The game could not be any closer. 4 aces, 2 fives on the board. And we have timeout. Timeout blue team. Timeout Philly. So not only is the score tied, the timeouts are tied. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining, 2 official and their official review remaining. Tampa has 4 leads this half and has scored 43. Philly's had 1 lead this half and has only scored 14 points.
Yeah, there's a definite shift in the universe. Momentum has definitely gone Tampa's way. As I said earlier, I know a lot of the families, and I'm familiar with a lot of the skaters from Tampa, and in talking to them, they were really excited about getting this rematch. Like I said, they wanted to come to Philly, and they wanted to make a little bit of a statement about, hey, you came to our house earlier in the year. We're going to bring it back to you in your house. But they both said, the skaters that I kind of interviewed offline, they said they hit so hard. It's going to be such a fun game, though. And that's the thing. If I'm an adult and I'm saying, yeah, you know, maybe we don't need to hit each other that hard. We can still have a good time. These kids want to hit each other hard. They are ready for WFTDA and MRDA play.
Talking about a shift in the universe, there's been a little bit of a European shift lately. Roller derby really picking up steam. In fact, one of the there's going to be 2 playoffs for the Women's Flat Track Derby Association. One of them is going to be in A Coruña, Spain, over the Labor Day weekend, and then over the Armistice Day weekend, the championships in New Orleans, and a playoff in Atlanta over the Solstice weekend. So lots going on in the WFTDA. You're watching WFTDA. Take us out to the track.
And right now we have Unstoppable out, but we had a no pass, no penalty So there was no opportunity for lead there, and then lead was quickly gained by Tampa on the back end of the play, and they called it off wisely, not giving Unstoppable an opportunity to pick up any points.
Yeah, that was Dubinsky that picked up lead jam and called off the jam. We have an official timeout now. So this is the Junior Roller Derby Association Championships, and if you're by tomorrow you still want more Junior Roller Derby Association action, we got the World Cup coming up. Talking about that international flavor of roller derby.
Absolutely. What we have the Junior World Cup that you can join us live on Twitch TV Monday and Tuesday, the 23rd and 24th of July, and we will be bringing you 6 international squads. We have Team USA East, Team USA West, Canada, Australia. There's a unified Team Europe, and Great Britain is fielding their first squad ever for the World Cup this year. This is really exciting stuff, and you get to watch it for the most amazing price of free.
Yes, can't beat the cost.
And you're going to get to see something spectacular. We have never had this many countries represented in Junior Roller Derby as we have right now. So the sport is on its rise, and it's wonderful to see these teams who've never really tested the waters over here, who've only played a handful of games amongst themselves across the pond. And guess what? Now they get to come and they get to play with some established teams, and the tricks and the techniques and the strategies that they're going to learn are going to be so important for them to take back to their home leagues. Australia has established themselves, obviously, in the WFTGA world as being in power. They are currently the keepers of the Hydra down there in Victoria. And over in Europe, London has always been strong. So we expected to see something out of Great Britain, but it's wonderful to see all these other teams. I believe there's 7 teams represented in Team Europe. That's fantastic to see.
In the Women's World Cup earlier this year in Manchester, Australia skated against Team USA for the Cup. So, yeah, Australia is a powerhouse in terms of roller derby.
And I think unlike the previous World Cup that we had, where we technically only had 4 teams, we had Australia, a pair of teams from the U.S. and Canada. I think this time around you're going to see a lot more parity, because a lot of the teams from their home leagues in Canada have been coming across the border much more frequently in the past 2 years. As a matter of fact, we've had Canadian teams qualify for championships in the past 2 seasons where they hadn't before.
If you have questions about the awesome action you're seeing this weekend, use the hashtag #TalkToJRDA to chat with us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow JRDA on Twitter using the handle @JRDA_rocks.
Yeah, now it looks like we've got Coach Teflon taking TIE Fighter off to the area over there where the fans are. It appears to be an injury. I'm not sure what's going on with TIE. He seems to be clutching a little bit over there, so...
TIE Fighter is a sometimes referee. When he refs, his uniform number is 1-0-1. Why? Because that looks like a TIE Fighter.
Absolutely.
It looks like a picture of a TIE Fighter. Great name.
And some of the most fun I've ever had at a championships was sitting down with TIE, and I was prepping him for a game, and he literally looked at me in the eye, so mature, and he goes, well, I officiated each one of these teams earlier, so I have a pretty good idea what to expect. And I just cracked up. Because, you're talking to a kid, and you're like, okay, well, this is what you want to do. And he goes, I watched both these teams earlier. I was reffing.
Score has not been adjusted. It is still 151 to 151. There's 20 minutes and 30-some seconds left to play. Jammers are Tinkerbomb and Rough Red, and we are underway. Jam number 7 in progress, of the second half in progress. So 1 stoppage of play in the first half, 2 stoppages of play in the second half. Still moving right along. All black at the back of the pack, all blue at the top of the pack. Everybody's going to be black and blue by the time this game is over.
There are no more appropriate uniform colors to be opposing each other than the black and the blue that we have today. It's been an intense game. It's been very physical. It's living up to the billing of the rematch that I was talking about at the front end of this broadcast.
Rough Red has lead jam for Philly. Low block is the call. We've got a Tampa skater reporting to the penalty box on the low block. Initial pass completed by Tinkerbomb. 5-point pass, and the jam is called.
And that was Hot Wheels reporting to the box for that low block call. And as we go into the next jam, it is going to be a 1-blocker pack advantage for Philly, as Hot Wheels is going to be starting this one off in the penalty box.
Philly occupying that pivot line, sending their blocker line out there. They have the advantage in this half of having the bench that's closer to that line. Tampa had that advantage in the first half, so it's fair. It's even. 12-17 on the black team, Frico Suave. 13 on the blue team is Unstoppable. Spinning through, picking up lead jam is Unstoppable. Initial completed by Frico as Unstoppable starts the scoring pass. Penalty coming in.
Yep.
And it's a back block on Unstoppable. 2-minute jam here.
Unstoppable came in just a little bit too hot. The previous space that was occupied by Unstoppable immediately after contact had been held by a legal upright skater who was then downed by Unstoppable. Therefore, the back block was called.
How about that? An officiating clinic brought to you by Daryl B. Payne.
One of my favorite things to work on with my jammers at the Darlings of Destruction is not coming in hot. And when they do, they don't even look at me. They're like, they know they can't make eye contact because I've taught them not to do that.
Tie game now, lead change. Tampa jumping out into the lead. Tom Fuller, is this the first lead that Tampa has had? First lead Tampa's had all game long. Forearm penalty. Philadelphia losing a blocker on a forearm. That is number 17, Takedown Diva. 4-point pass for Frico. 4-point pass for Unstoppable. Another 4-point pass for Unstoppable. Another 4-point pass for Frico.
And Coach Rojo Grande over there telling Frico, run with it. She wants to burn some clock, and she wants to try to extend this point.
Can't stop the jam. No
Nope.
lead jammer.
Nope, she's telling him, go, go, go. And you know, you got to love that as a jammer when you're just getting the freedom. It looks like we've got a multiplayer block that's been called.
Yeah, that's the Tampa pivot reporting to the penalty box on the multiplayer. Sat down so I couldn't see the uniform number 41. Sonic Boom. Jammers continuing to swap fours. Oh, Unstoppable stopped at the back of the pack. Great job by number 9, Hot Wheels, temporarily stopping Unstoppable.
And, you know, that made all the difference in the world because had Unstoppable been able to get into that pack and score some more points, we'd have had another lead change. But no, Tampa's hanging on by a 1-point lead, 173-172 with 16:40 to go in the game.
Yeah, 22-point jam by Tampa. Is that Tampa's highest jam of the game? 16 points by Philly, yeah, 173 to 172.
I thought Frico had one bigger earlier.
Yeah, I think there was a 23 earlier. So jamming right now, Rainbow Crash for Philly, Haley Dubinsky for Tampa. Nice block by number 171. That is Tomahawk.
By the way, those watching at home, if you are friends on Facebook with Haley Dubinsky, you have to go and see the video that she was tagged on earlier. She tried Vegemite for the first time earlier today, a gift from our friends from Australia, and her facial reaction is priceless.
I gotta love a reaction video. Tampa losing a blocker to the penalty box.
Her mom sampled it at the same time and said, "You just tasted that. Why would you do that to me?" It was wonderful.
Try this milk. Does this taste bad? Rainbow Crash is your lead jammer for Philly. Apex jump, crawling to the infield. Ooh. Seeding the position and not picking up a track cut. Star pass, new jammer for Tampa.
Yeah, there's a lot of heavy hitting going on right now. Both teams are trying to wear on those opposing jammers by putting as much body on them as possible. And at this stage of the game, fatigue is going to become a factor.
That's Sonic Boom sporting the spangled helmet cover for Tampa. Penalty box now empty. Both teams at full strength, and both teams in a very, very tight space in turn number 3. Very densely packed pack.
It's like a game of Tetris, and there is going to be no winner. There's nowhere to go.
The only way to win is not to play. One to beat at the top of the pack for number 41, Sonic Boom. But Sonic Boom forced to the outside. That one to beat. She didn't beat him. 4 points picked up by Philly. We have another lead change, 176 to 173, back and forth here in jam number 9 of the second half, heading into jam number 10 of the second half. Penalty box still empty.
Now everybody has their own rules about how to play along at home. And in my world, I tell my skaters, whenever you're watching a game and you see a lead change, you got to donate to your favorite pet charity.
Okay.
Because if you don't and there's a lead change, a kitten may starve.
Does that mean that you can give a snack to your cat?
Absolutely.
Is that your favorite pet charity? My favorite pet, and it's a charity act. Jamming now, we have Unstoppable for Philly, Anya Last Nerve for Tampa. Unstoppable pushing the pack at the front. Anya Last Nerve being dragged all the way down to turn number 4 by number 817.
That's Boomerang.
Boomerang. Pack spread out almost 180 degrees around the track. Lead jam goes to Unstoppable. And now the pack is congealed at turn number 1. Initial completed by Anya. That's 4 leads in a row for Philadelphia.
Looks like another 4 points going up on the board for Philly.
Extends the lead now, 180 to 173.
And we've got just about 13 minutes left to go in this game. And we've got some inside-outside officiating crew conversations going on. I think they want to make sure they're staying on the same page in regards to what they saw in that last jam.
Timeout Tampa. Let's see, their last timeout was really profitable for them. Let's see if they can profit equally off of this timeout.
Yeah, here's a point in time where, as a coach, you're looking at your bench, and I have seen a little bit of fatigue starting to show on some of the Tampa skaters. This one's probably as much of a, listen, let's settle down, everybody focus on what you need to do. Remember what your job is when you're on the floor.
Yeah, we're in this. We're only trailing by 7 points.
7 points. And you can tell your kids, hey, remember we were down about 40 earlier in the game? So they've worked their way back in this game, and Rojo over there right now is probably giving them that directive of, it's our game to go after right now, but we have to go after it. We have to be smart. It's about point protection. It's about not giving up penalties when you're jamming, and it's about not letting them score if you have lead jam.
So our leading scorers, Anya is leading for Tampa with 64, and Unstoppable still leading all scorers. Tom Fuge doing the quick math. Unstoppable sitting on 132.
That's not a bad afternoon's work right there for you.
More than 2/3 of the Philadelphia score. 12-17 on the black team is Frico Suave. 13 on the blue team is Unstoppable. Penalty box is empty.
These are two very different contrasting styles of jammer too. Frico, as you can see, he's a nimble, agile jammer. Likes to work his way back and forth, zigzag through the pack and create his own space. Unstoppable, he likes to bulldoze.
Tampa picking up a direction of play penalty, so they have one skater, one blocker fewer on the track. Lead jam's gone to Unstoppable.
Yeah, Unstoppable found a little bit of a seam on that inside line coming through the top of the turn, and he worked his way through to earn that lead jam.
Initial completed. Unstoppable has his sights on Frico Suave. Frico Suave able to enter the pack, so not becoming a point. So that could have been a 5-point pass, but no, only a 4-point pass.
Yeah, Teflon Donna over on the bench gave the directive to Unstoppable to run and make another pass. She's got the confidence in her blockers that he's going to get through before Frico can.
And well-placed is that confidence as number 15, Motley Drew, forces Frico Suave to the infield and makes him re-engage that back of the pack. And a multiplayer coming in at the top of the pack. Who's leaving on the multiplayer?
Looks like Little Miss Perfect.
So now only 2 to beat at the top of the pack. Unstoppable forced down, but gets back up. All 5 points for Unstoppable. Back to a 16-point lead for Philadelphia.
And that's good trust and communication right there between Unstoppable and his bench coaching staff, where they have the faith in him, knowing his skill and ability to put him on the floor. And even though it may be tiresome, this is the point in the game where you need to give yourself a cushion. You've got to get those extra points.
Well, it's also got to be tiresome for Frico Suave trying to battle through that wedge of death at the top of the pack. 3 more points, 3 points total picked up by Tampa.
And 4 more going on the tally for Philly. That's going to bring their score to 193 to 176 with 10.5 to go.
This is going to be a high-scoring game. This is going to be an even higher scoring game. It already is a high-scoring game. If you're just tuning in, you're missing some great Derby, but you've got some great Derby left ahead of you. You're watching WFTADA.TV and the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championships. I'm Bobby Narco, joined by Daryl Payne, and our producer is Tom Foolery. Daryl B. Payne, who is jammin'?
Right now, I believe we've got the captain, Haley Zabinski, going up against Rough Red for Philly, and Haley is out right now trying to get past that last blocker, Tomahawk, and I believe we finally got a lead jam. Haley Zabinski worked her way through and got that lead jam for Tampa.
How long has it been since Tampa had lead, Tom? 6 jams since Philly had lead, since Tampa had lead.
And we've got a Philly blocker going to the box.
That is not a blocker. That is the jammer. That is Rough Red with helmet cover in hand.
And we've got a jammer swap out.
Ah, there you go.
It's going to be a very short power jam for Philly.
And a 2-minute jam.
We're going the distance. Now, in this situation, I got to like the experience of Haley Zabinski, and she's taken that cover off. I don't think she's really got any intention of getting rid of that right now. I think she's just trying to throw a little ruse.
The stealth jammer.
Yeah.
Philly not fooled. Philly knows she's the jammer, and they are pushing her to the outside. Both jammers now forced out and re-engaging from the back of the pack.
Yeah, this jam has turned into a real grind. Neither jammer able to really get a foothold and go anywhere. And we now have a track cut going against Philly.
That's
Rough Red is on the way to the penalty box.
For the second time. Tampa also sending a blocker to the penalty box, and Dubinsky is gassed.
Yeah, Dubinsky looks unamused at this point in time. Knowing that there's only a couple seconds left on the clock, Haley was not going to waste her energy going over. I like that. Nice camaraderie right there. Goes over to Tomahawk. They give each other a little pat on the back saying, good jam.
Yep.
Love it.
3 points picked up by Tampa, so the timeout does net them some points. 179 for Tampa, 193 for Philly.
Yeah, we've got Anya Last Nerve, who's going to be starting this unopposed as we have a power start and a little bit of a blocker advantage for Philly as they have all 4 with 1 still in the box right now for Tampa.
Rough Red starting from the penalty box for Philly.
Nice little move to the outside, and Anya Last Nerve getting a very important, with 7 minutes and 45 seconds to go in the game, getting a very important lead. Got to skate clean, got to take advantage, got to protect your points.
Low block on number 110, Little Miss Perfect. So the pack even thinner for Tampa. Only 2 Tampa blockers on the track. Now some reinforcements
That
coming.
was a fantastic drawback, by the way, right there by Boomerang, who has basically eaten half of that penalty and power jam time right there that Anya had to work with.
Boom, nice hit by number 17, Takedown Diva.
Anya a little shaken up on that. She gets the cobwebs out, and she's back on the track. Just going to call it off. Not feeling good about life. It looked like she probably skated right into the back of that blocker, and any kind of head contact is scary, and you got to take care of yourself in that one. I think she recognized she wasn't in any shape to continue that jam and call it off wisely.
Tampa only trailing by 11 points, 193 to 182 after picking up 3 on that last set of whistles. So heading into jam number 14, boy, it's going to be anybody's game. Number 13 is Unstoppable.
Unstoppable going up against Frico Suave again.
Unstoppable already with 145 points. More than three quarters of his team's score. 4-arm penalty on Unstoppable. So Frico Suave.
Frico needs to take advantage of this for Tampa to have a shot. They need to get a good opportunity right here, put some points on board. But that was fantastic edge work right there. If you watch Tomahawk, he slid in, he took the sideline away, and he basically did a hip check and put Frico out and almost into the cheap seats.
Frico survives the second hip check, though, and picks up lead jam.
All right, it's going to be critical to see what they can do with this. He's still got a little bit of time left on this power jam. And once again, Tomahawk, Team USA e-skater for a reason, and it's that powerful blocking.
Tomahawk, 3 underscores under it, is the note passed to me by by tomfoolery. Also, 3 lead jams in a row for Tampa. They had gone a stretch of 6 where they hadn't got lead, but now 3 lead jams in a row.
Should be all 5 points for Tampa, and it is 5 in the sky.
6-point game. Unstoppable released from the penalty box, but still on his initial.
Frico needs to hit it and quit it, gets the call and does. Looks like at least 3 points.
Oh, 2. Nobody in the box. 1 in the box.
2.
But it's a Tampa in the box. So you don't get a point for your own skater in the penalty box.
Just
so
2.
189 to 193. A 4-point game. 5 minutes left to play.
Oh, boy.
Indeed. Number 7 is Haley Dubinsky. And number 10 is Rainbow Crash.
You know what I like? I like games that come down to the last jam because it's like a fine wine. It's like having a plate in front of you, charcuterie, if you will, with a fine aged cheese. You're excited to have it. You got to get it.
Multi-player block sends a Philadelphia skater to the penalty box. That's number 15, Motley Drew. Lead jam has gone to Rainbow Crash, ending that 3 lead jam streak that Tampa had been on.
And we've got a track cut going against Tampa.
So a power jam for Crash.
Let's see if Tampa's defense can hang on here. They need to keep this game within reach. I mean, it's 1 jam plus or minus for either team. A strong jam could win this game.
Strong brace 2-wall at the top of the back by Tama, containing that jammer. Philadelphia sent their pivot in to be the wrecking ball, but it only worked briefly and did not spring the jammer.
No, the window was open and closed so quick there. There wasn't an opportunity for that jammer to get through.
4 points picked up by Philly makes that score 197 to 189.
I'm still going to say it again. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
It's a close game. I love a close game. I'm over here. I'm really wringing my hands. I'm so excited. I love close games.
Tom Pooley's tracking stats so fast his hands are starting to cramp up. He's doing one of these shake your hands out.
Yeah, I think that pen is working so fast across there that ink is smoking.
Number 13 is the only jammer on the track. That is unstoppable. Starting from the penalty box is Haley Dubinsky, now released. Pack is at full strength.
Let's see if we can get some stealthy movement. And Haley's going to take advantage of no one looking, but did not land the apex. Has to get reset.
Nice booty block by number 181, Maddie Longlegs, for closing off that inside line.
Yes.
And foiling that apex lead. Lead jam goes to unstoppable.
Yes, that was an outstanding positional work, making sure that there was no room at the end and denied Haley Zabinski an opportunity to get that pass.
Reasonable attempt at even getting a blocking a misconduct charge. 4 points picked up by Unstoppable.
And Tomahawk doing the work, buying time, and that's very critical right now because you're taking time away from the opponents being able to score, plus you're keeping them from being in a position to score. Tomahawk doing the work.
Now 5-point pass. The initial 4-point pass put Philly over the 2-century mark. Now they're sitting on 206.
Now I think if you're Tampa in this case, you're gonna want to use that timeout as soon as this jam ends because you're gonna only maybe get a chance for 1, possibly 2 more jams. Smart play by Philly though. Over there right now, Teflon Donna is not even thinking about telling her jammer to call this off. She wants as much time gone as possible.
Yeah, Tomahawk did a great job drawing a track cut call on Dubinsky, so it's a power jam for Unstoppable. Brace 2-wall at the top of the pack. And the brace becomes the blocker, and then a 5-point pass.
Solid fundamental work. Look at that. Unstoppable skates by the Philly faithful and says, let's hear it, everybody, because you know what? I think he knows what that jam meant right there. And that jam meant it's going to be extremely difficult for Tampa to make a comeback now.
19 points. Tampa slow to put a team out on the track. I thought for sure a timeout was coming. Now Philadelphia pulling their skaters off the track, and we've got Tef out there on the infield, so I imagine a timeout is coming. So the winner of this game is going to be skating at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon for 5th place, and the loser of this game is going to be skating at 11 o'clock tomorrow for 7th place. Don't want to assign any teams yet because this game is not over. 1 minute and 14 seconds left to play. 27 points separate these two teams. We've seen multiple 27-point jams in this game already, so we know that 27 is an achievable number. They got the work cut out for him. It's not an easy number.
I wouldn't want to have to be the jammer that the coach would hand the star to and say, we only need 27 points.
We're all counting on you, no pressure.
All I can hear when you say that in my head is Leslie Nielsen in the movie Airplane, where he enters the cabin and tells the pilot, you know we're all counting on you. Good luck. No pressure.
No,
there's no pressure.
No pressure. Whew, if you have questions about the awesome action you've been seeing this weekend and this game, use the hashtag #TalkToJRDA to chat with us on Twitter. And don't forget to follow JRDA on Twitter using @JRDA_rocks.
And it looks like we're just about ready to go. Both teams have fielded some skaters out there.
Starting from the penalty box, Tampa's jammer is Haley Dubinsky. And on the track, number 14, Rough Red.
We now are down to the last full minute in the period of play.
Lead jam goes to Philly. This is Philly's game to salt away.
Yep. There's no pressure on them to score. I'd be barking at my skater to stay out of the pack. Do not pick up a penalty. Do not give them a chance to score.
But they are not. They are engaging that wall of Tampa blockers at the top of the pack. If Tampa can draw a penalty on the jammer, they could still take this game.
You know, I haven't had a lot of opportunities to do it, but we have a victory formation in which our jammer and our pivot fall back behind our tripod and play defense.
Apex leap not quite stuck by Haley Dubinsky, but it gets all 5 points. By Rough Red. Thank you, Tom. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da. Final countdown. Some people decide it's going 3, 2, 1. It is the jam timer's clock that counts. 3 more points picked up at the very end for a total of 8 makes the unofficial final score 224 to 189.
Look at that jubilation down there. The Philly fans are going nuts. You know, Tomahawk has had an outstanding game on defense here, and he's over there and he's kind of hugging his co-leader on this team, Boomerang, who are both Team USA East skaters. They know what this means to them. They get an opportunity to play for 5th tomorrow. They will be playing in the 1 o'clock game. And our score one officially sits at 224-189. We'll find out. It is now final.
It is an official final. So, like Daryl B. Payne just said, the 5th place game will the 7th place game will take place at 11, and Philadelphia will be skating tomorrow at 1 p.m. for 5th place against the winner of the River City versus the Sirens.
Yeah, this was a fantastic game. This was even better than the original. So Philly-Tampa 2018 2.0, an even better game.
That River City Sirens game is coming up next, so don't go anywhere. You are watching the 2018 Junior Roller Derby Association Championships on WFTA.tv. Our most excellent producer has been Tom Foolery. I've been joined by Daryl B. Payne. I'm Bobby Narco, wishing you peace, love, and a roller derby.
And we'll see you in the next game. Good luck.